Hey, everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Baltimore Ravens. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor and M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Baltimore Ravens. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, you look at this Raven team as they get ready here. They come in off a good win on the road, and now they hit the home opener at 1-0. Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Eagles, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
Two teams here fresh off Week 1 victories who can keep it going as we're underway on EA Sports. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Ravens now, ready to get the football for the first time. Commanding the offense will be Lamar Jackson, the electric quarterback out of the University of Louisville.
Allow me a second here to gush, because in his college career, the only player in NCAA history to rush for over 1,500 yards and pass for over 3,500 yards in a season, and he did it twice.
That's pretty good.
That's really good. Yet he only won the Heisman Trophy once.
Here we go now. 3-19.
This is the first carry for Rob Kelly, and he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It's a loss of 2, now third down. I'm no offensive mastermind, but of all the guys on the field to block, you might want to stop him.
Look, I've got a very simple rule. An unblocked defender is usually your best defender, and he ended up making the play there.
And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, touch and timing are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
So on fourth down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. That's taken on the 25. Whoa, it still won't go down. 12 yards on the return that time. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. And here's a look at their leader, standing 6'4".
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is, and that tells me it's not just a one-time-a-week thing. They work on it all the time, trying to hone that fine edge. They want to see if they can get in sync and stay in sync in this one.
Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be second and 6. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Watch it now, Barney. Here we go.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. go play action here on first down. Steps away. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. Adrian Phillips there to knock that one away.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And Rodgers has it over on the right side. Touchdown, Philadelphia! Richard Rodgers, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Eagles have taken the early lead. They scored the most points of anyone on opening weekend, and now first quarter touchdown here.
And while there's no guarantee that all the points they scored in opening weekend are going to hold up and be the average all year long, they're certainly starting to set that type of a pace. And what you do with that is you put in the heads of all of your opponents, we've got to really be ready on defense because these guys know how to put the ball in the end zone.
You think they can keep piling on the points like this?
I think they can if they're prepared to adjust and adapt, because they won't see the same defenses week in and week out.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue line it.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to sling this deep downfield. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Set. Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6. A look now at the defensive starters for Philadelphia. They were very good in the win over Dallas a week ago.
And all defensive teams that I know talk about creating turnovers. Takeaways, they call them. And anytime you can get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really, really good performance. They exceeded that number in a big way.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Set. Green 39. Green 39.
On 3rd down, Jackson on the move to his left. He can run for it, and he will. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Edelman set to return. So possession goes over here on the punt. The Eagles offense back out onto the field. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
In many ways, being in a zone defense versus in-breaking routes is exactly what you want, because most zone coverages are taught to keep eyes on the quarterback and sense receivers, and that way you can see right back into the play, and when the quarterback delivers, you're just driving on the football and trying to arrive in a spot to make a play on it, which is exactly what we saw there.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
No, check. Patriot.
Back to throw here. And he's got Edelman for the first time. That's complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Over. Gone.
On play action, they'll throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. That one goes for 36 yards. So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And it is caught at the 7-yard line. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. The numbers for Jeffrey from last week. After the game, he was the focus. He was in the end zone at every turn, wasn't he?
Seemed like every time they were in the red zone, they went to him. And that's not just good coaching. That's just obvious. Of course you go to him there.
They could not stop him. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
No, check, Patriot!
They'll look to throw again. This is taken in by Jeffrey. He's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. Alshon Jeffrey, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Eagles add on to their lead. That's an early touchdown grab for last week's NFC Offensive Player of the Week. He was so electric, and they talked about it all week long. Have to try to contain him.
And now for him, being able to focus on the task at hand and not just immediately assume that last week it totally carries over, but you got to like the start that he has, showing those great hands that we've seen from him throughout.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Brandon Graham. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
Well, that's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying.
And he lost the football, and the Eagles have recovered. So possession changes hands on the final play of the first quarter. 14-0 is our score. We're back to Baltimore after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Eagles with the ball here to begin quarter number 2. They've got it 1st and 10 following the fumble recovery. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Ertz has it left side. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Back to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Edelman was the intended target, and now it's 3rd down. They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Open man, the tight end Rodgers. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. That'll put him over 100 yards receiving now here in this first half of action. This quarterback now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. And this is caught. It's Edelman. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Julian Edelman, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead.
Great field position has to be one of the best friends an offense can have. When you don't have very far to go, you should cash it in with points.
Elliott now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Set. Green, 39. Green.
Throwing on 1st down, it's Jackson. And Matthews over the middle with a grab. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones in a first down. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right,
It's caught inside the 25. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A gain of 39 that time.
Here's something hit a big play there on a deep post. And most of the time, the post isn't available because usually you have defenders in the middle of the field. But if you throw enough curls and crossing routes and underneath routes, I know from experience, they get tired of watching those balls get caught. They start to creep up a little bit, and that's when you can hit them big over the top.
Lucky 56. Set. Blue landing.
On second down, Jackson. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
319.
On third down, Jackson. And that is incomplete. Nigel Bradham, the linebacker, right there on the coverage.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on third down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So they've put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points. Able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. Now they must have seen something leading up to this one that said, hey, we're going to be able to go deep, because they've gone deep with a lot of success.
And pick your phrase, pick your code words, your buzzwords, whatever, vertical stretch, deep passes, go routes, right? What's that route you love? What's that route you love?
4 verts.
4 verts. Yeah. All of it working because they're able to find ways to get deep, and for him to show off that big arm.
We see some of that big arm right here. He has been great. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
No. Check. Patriot.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And he'll hit Jeffrey complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A very solid gain of 27.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, it was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
They'll drop to throw. And that's complete to Jeffrey. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Alshon Jeffrey with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Eagles add on to their lead.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Elliott now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy. Kelly stripped. The ball is free. But it looked like a Raven was able to get in there, and they will indeed keep the possession. So it Goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's
Detroit,
big, isn't it?
Detroit.
I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. Coming up at the half, a reminder we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Michael Crabtree there. And now it's 2nd down.
Watch it now, Barney.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
Here we go now.
2nd and 10. Here's Jackson again. And this will be a dump off for Kelly. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. Play action. It's Jackson. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, sometimes those cliches really come true, don't they, when they talk about it takes all 11 to play good defense. We've seen that in this ball game. I think the secondary has to be singled out, though. They are in the presence of every receiver whenever the ball's thrown, and this one they help force another incompletion.
Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. They've got the lead. He's a big reason why. Looking sharp so far.
And as we travel around the league, we see quarterbacks get it done in a variety of ways. But today's NFL does tell us one thing. If that guy doesn't play well, their team's not going to win. And right now he's got his team in the lead.
And now they'll look to extend that lead. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the...
There he goes, Julian Edelman. A big play there just before halftime. 51 yards.
A lot of receivers see the drag route as a risk-reward type of a play. The risk, going into the middle of the field where there's some big people want to hit you. But the reward is oftentimes you get lost in coverage, running a little bit underneath. And when you catch it just right, as we just saw there, the end result can be a big, big play.
A gain of 6 there on 1st. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
No, check, Patriot.
Again, he'll drop to throw. The quick slant caught. They only get 5 out of that quick slant, but that's good enough for a first. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Back to throw again. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And the kick by Elliott is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So it's an old-school extra point that counts 3 times. It's certainly a disappointment they weren't able to get it in the end zone.
Yeah, I can just imagine post-game, head coach looking at the box score, 19-yard field goal, grimacing a little bit, but having to realize that at that moment, getting 3 points was vital. Go ahead and get the points, put them on the board.
Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we've reached halftime here, and it's our visitors, the Eagles, leading this one. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin up at U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue as you can see by the scoreline. Kirk Cousins, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. From there, we head all the way out west to see what's happening with the LA Chargers. And things didn't go so well as it was the visiting Raiders who come in and grab the victory. Orleans Darkwa, a touchdown run in the victory. Lastly, let's get out to Jacksonville, see what's happening with the Jaguars at TIAA Bank Field. And they were winners in that one as they take care of the visiting Chicago Bears. Blake Bortles, 4 touchdown passes in the victory. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. This fielded at the 2. Oh, leaves him behind on the spin. Fighting through, and he's got space. There he goes, Julian Edelman. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Julian Edelman, 98 yards. And the Eagles continue to roll. And people still trying to get back to their seats from the concession stand here at the start of the third quarter. And boom, we got points on the board.
And you just identified why the bulk of stadiums have increased presence in the concession areas, right? TVs, loudspeakers, so people can still follow the game. And right now, they're bummed out that they missed that big return to start this half.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start.
They'll hand it off to Kelly. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. The Pro Bowler Fletcher Cox there to get him down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
Let's not quibble about the game there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now gives him a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
To throw is Jackson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Here's Sam Cook now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. And it's been a good game for him to this point, Charles. They're winning on the scoreboard. They got to be feeling pretty good.
And it's always fun for them when they're not just winning on the scoreboard, but they're contributing in a big way. As you see him throwing touchdown passes, watching this video here, it's got to be a fun time for him and a relaxed time because nothing is pressing.
Relaxed, cool, calm, collective, all those things describing him right now.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll start out on the ground with a Johnny. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
And he finds the tight end, Rodgers. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. And this is one of those bang-bang plays, Charles. Did the knee hit first or did the ball come out first?
This is where you need that 20/20 eyesight, don't you, Brandon? You've got to see which one happened first. If the knee hit the ground, then they will keep possession.
And they'll run it here. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
They go play action here on first down. Over the middle, Rodgers has it. Still staying on his feet. Are you serious? And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A good pickup there, a 22. And passing yardage-wise, now up over 350 in this game. Pretty nice performance.
Definitely that, which usually means you're putting a lot of pressure on guys trying to cover. If you're a defensive back and they put over 350 yards on.
And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Jay Ajayi, his third touchdown now on the year. And the forced fumble defensively leads to 6 points for the Eagles. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
Now let's go.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Give him 8 on the play, and it'll make it 2nd down. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. They go play action with Jackson. Going for the deep ball. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. It was Jalen Mills getting a hand in there defensively. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, there's a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, deep ball, short ball, and that was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contesting everything. I apologize in advance, partner, but the beefeaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a first down.
Well, we got beef eaters licking their chops and tasty dish in one fell swoop.
I did apologize in advance, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. That line's not eating tofu, I'll tell you that much for free. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Leopard! Leopard!
Here's a handoff to Ajayi to begin the drive. Fancy footwork at the 45. Jay Ajayi's going to go. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jay Ajayi, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Eagles are pouring it on. So the 2nd time tonight he has hit the end zone, Charles.
Some people just have a natural nose for the end zone, and he's exhibiting that here in this game. Big-time job, and, of course, he's got to pat the backs of the offensive line.
Yeah, they can't be lost in the shuffle. They're vital. Elliott now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. The Ravens on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue line.
From the gun, Jackson nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Here's Sam Cook now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And now Edelman. A terrific return, 30 yards all in all. And the Eagles will have great starting field position here as they take over. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. They'll begin the drive with a jive. Oh, twisting away. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down.
It's always been funny to me, Brandon, when coaches always talk about on hot days like the one we have here. Well, it's hot for both teams. But when one team has the advantage, when one team is running the ball really well and closing things out, it's hotter for the defensive side, and they sag a lot quicker.
Yeah, they say the dog days of August, the heat we're seeing here today, dog days of September, and the advantage right now on the offensive side. That one goes for 24 yards. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. On play action, they'll throw. This is taken in by Jeffrey. He's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. Alshon Jeffrey, his 3rd touchdown of the game, his 8th on the year. And the Eagles continue to roll. That's why you've got your star out there. Throw the ball to him. They did.
That's simply saying we don't care what coverage you put out there. He's so good. We're going there with the football anyway, and there's not a thing you can do about it.
Inside the red zone, they go to him. He gets it done. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive. Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
To the right side and complete to Hurst. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down. Now Jackson on first down. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Matthews that time, and it's 2nd down. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Here we go now. Green, 39. Green.
Jackson now on 2nd and 10. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. The Ravens on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
To throw again is Jackson. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
All right, time for us now to discuss Alshon Jeffrey. This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him, bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought. It's a big play there for the Eagles. And even 50 yards. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Hey, watch this. Gun! Gun! Gun, gun! 57 the mic. 57 the mic.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And down inside the 15 he goes. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
As many games as the two of us do, I would hope that one day we'll be able to solve this riddle. Why is it on a hot day that one team has more trouble with the heat than another, and especially when you can't stop a guy running the ball?
You know it's September in the booth, though, when you and I have both removed our coats, and those were gone in the first quarter.
They were gone in the first quarter, and what we're watching now is a defense mentally giving in and sagging a little bit because they haven't been able to stop him.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
Now it looks like he'll throw here. This will be caught at about the 5. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Here we go now. 3-19.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, second and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue, line it.
Again on second and 10, it's Jackson setting up the screen to Kelly. He finds an opening past the 40. Boom! Still fighting through tackles. A nice gain of 21 yards.
And that was a beautifully executed screen pass. They let the rushers get upfield and get the escorts in front, meaning the offensive linemen, other blockers out in front, completed the pass beautifully. So now you've got all that open space, the big guys leading the way.
He'll leave it for Kelly, complete. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 12 more yards there and another first down.
Not only did we just see back-to-back nice gains, but we're also seeing the confidence rise, not just for the guy who caught it, but the guy throwing it as well.
And these back-to-back catches here out of the backfield, that can set something up downfield in a later sequence, right?
A lot of the time, it starts to draw the defense closer to the line of scrimmage. So to your point, show this swing pass, show this check down. Maybe later on, you heave one deep and you catch him close to the spot.
Off the play fake, here's Jackson. And Matthews has it right side. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet.
And this is caught. Well, they get one back. Picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big.
But yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20.
Watch him now, Barney, Barney.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Gonna look deep for Jeffrey. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, second down.
Well, I guess we just discovered that someone is certainly not going to sit back and just take it in this game, huh?
No, they were trying to get that touchdown back in one shot.
One shot, trying to help out his defense and let the other team know they were coming after him.
Gonna look deep for Jeffrey. And this will be caught at the 30. Jeffrey, and he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top.
And that touchdown reception is the 5th for him in this game, and that ties the NFL record.
And a record that's held up since 1950. This is another person that's tied it, but think about this. Bob Shaw said it in 1950. Kellen Winslow came along and tied it. And then, of course, Jerry Rice tied it as well. And finally, we're seeing it here one more time. Phenomenal.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Eagles, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Cleveland to take on the Browns. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, they'll fall to 1-1. And they will get a home date next week as they will take on the Dallas Cowboys.
you